Right, the MMA YouTube channels tier list. Okay, let's start some trouble. I'm only joking. It's mostly good. There's a couple of duds, but nothing crazy. If there's MMA YouTube channels that aren't in this video, it's more likely that I've just forgotten them or never heard of them. But having said that, apologies if I miss any good ones. Let me know in the comments. Obviously, I am a small channel, and I think every channel on this list is bigger than me. So I'm not going to be comparing them like as peers. This is like through the view of an audience member sort of thing. So I'm just judging them on their own merit as YouTube channels, not necessarily in comparison to me. But anyway, with that said, let's crack on. Lucas Tracy. Wasn't it weird when he retired? So weird being a small YouTube channel that's trying to grow and then just see someone that's basically at the top just walk away from it for like no real good reason. But I don't know if it was them checks not coming in or whatever it was, but he's back. I never really watched the live streams and stuff anyway, so as far as I'm concerned, he's just back like he's always been. But it's good to have him back. Let's face it, he's one of the best. So there you go, Lucas Tracy, classic, he's in A tier. On to another good one, Mixed Molly Whoppery. I assume you've heard of it. He does the kind of documentary styles, usually about like kind of psychology of fighters and controversies, but he makes it in more of a kind of documentary style. But because he's got this, I don't know, is it Boston accent or New York accent or something? He's got a really thick accent, and it just adds this kind of like style to it that just really works. He's great with the backing tracks and he uses really great footage. He does a good job. And there's a little bit of humour thrown in there as well. It's not the sort of stuff I typically watch, but it's top drawer of that kind of stuff in my opinion. So Mixed Molly Whoppery up there comfortably in A tier. But it can't all be good, can it? We can't get too carried away sucking everyone off. So let's do Nina Drama. In fairness to Nina, she is a bit of an easy target. A couple of targets, in fact. I've got to be honest, I don't ever watch her full videos, but you see, on Insta, I think probably more, but you see clips of them and there's funny moments and she's doing her thing. It's kind of quite original take with all the MMA stuff, so I won't whack her all the way in the bottom, but you know, it's not the best, is it? Although I will say she does get a lighter side out of the fighters and a side of them that you don't normally see in most other environments. So that is quite a breath of fresh air in that sense. And she don't mind a little bit of controversy, which is always a bit fun, isn't it? We'll whack Nina in C. And then we got Lucas Tracy's buddy, Bedtime MMA. Solid content. He's blown up this year. It's well deserved. Loads of videos, good topics, good personality for it. Already building a really loyal, passionate fan base. He's going in the A, isn't he? Then we got Kenny Okoya. Kenny's a funny one. He gets a lot of shit off everyone, but actually he's got really good energy and he's actually got really good takes. He usually just takes the contrarian take, it feels like, on most subjects, which isn't a terrible idea, is it, for YouTube content? But he argues all of his points really well. And I don't know who started it, but all of those MMA debates was kind of novel, wasn't it? And that's what made me find him. He does a lot of shorts, which I don't really watch, but I've watched a couple of his videos, and I think he's doing a good job. Bring it on. He's not quite in the A tier yet, but he's going that way. We'll whack him in B. And then we got a channel. It's got about 20,000 subscribers. It's called Mark Fighting. Don't know if you've seen it. He does these kind of well-produced, slick documentary type things. But the thing is, right, I'll just say it. I don't like his channel, but I think I might be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I apologise. But how it seems to me, he's just one of these automation YouTuber niche hunters that's just seen a market of MMA and he's just hiring editors and writers and stuff. I wouldn't even, my guess is it's not even his real voice. And it's all a little bit like, it just seems a bit too polished, insincere. It just seems like it's an automation channel. It doesn't seem like it's someone that is truly a fan of MMA, that cares about it, that wants to be a part of any sort of community. They're just like slick, highly edited videos, and there just doesn't seem any soul to it. Sorry if that's harsh, but if he is just an automation channel just trying to make money out of a niche, who cares? Whatever. It is what it is. He's going in D. And then we might as well get it out of the way. We got mma-guru. Some people love him. Some people hate him. They've all got fair points, but let's face it, he's the best, isn't he? He's been doing it pretty much before everyone. He's nearly always got good takes. He's nearly always funny without sucking him off too much. It is what it is. You can't really argue with it. Even if you don't like him, he's doing his thing, and he puts out a lot of videos. Even though he makes a lot of money, he doesn't need to work quite as hard as he does, but he just smashes it. Good for him. Whatever. He's doing his thing firmly in the A tier. And also, side note with the Guru, those Mighty Mouse and Guru videos are absolute gold, and I love them. They're one of my favourite things in MMA YouTube. Probably my favourite thing in MMA YouTube. It's an unusual pairing, but it just works so well. DJ just finds him so funny. They have a good little bit of banter. It's just so wholesome. If you haven't seen those, of all the things in here, probably go and watch them because they are brilliant. But anyway, enough of fucking wanking him off. We might as well do Demetrius Johnson after that. I don't watch his channel very much, to be honest, but you know, we all love him. I do catch bits here and there. More I see clips of him when he's like breaking down a fight or whatever. Obviously he's brilliant at that, purely because I just don't really watch it very much. I'll whack him and see. And then we got Chael Sonnen. Now this is a difficult one, and I might alienate myself and get some hate comments below for this. So apologies in advance, but there's no point just like talking bollocks, is there? I love Chael, and when I first started watching MMA YouTube, it was it was brilliant. It was probably like some of my favourite stuff. I'd watch all the videos, but there's only so long that you can just hear. It's a 15-minute video or something, and just 12 minutes of it are just absolute cod shit about some story that's nothing to do with MMA, that even when he gets to the end and connects it, doesn't even really do the job of the simile or whatever he's trying to do, and it just gets so tiring. And I can't personally help but feel, to me it seems like if you watch them now, he's kind of phoning it and he's just completely bored of it. He doesn't even like it anymore. It seems to me. I might be wrong. It's a shame because I love him. I almost watch one every now and again just to get a bit of his personality, even though I don't really want to hear what he's saying about anything ever. Like, do you know what I mean? So I'm going to respectfully put Chael in D. Now, also, another thing. I know I said about Mark fighting. I'm not too keen on that. And apologies if he's not an automation channel. And I'm putting, like, our, you know, legendary Chael down here. D isn't an insult. Like, I think most people say this on these tier lists, but like all of these people are doing brilliantly and they've got their own stuff going on, whatever. Like, so just let me just get that out there. D isn't an insult, right? Right, anyway, moving on. MMA Che. He hasn't been going that long and he's doing really well. He seems quite dedicated. He started doing none of these guys I really watch any live. I do dip in. I've dipped in a couple of times to Che's, and I've left a couple of comments. I've done the same to mma-guru a handful of times, and another guy that I'll mention in a bit. But lives just aren't really my thing, so that's not really part of me. The main thing I know MMA Che for is just the breakdowns of fights, and I'll go as far to say, with the breakdowns of the fights and the actual sports analysis of, like, you know, strategies and stuff like that, you might not agree with me, you might agree with me. I think he's one of the best. Like, if there's a matchup and a fight coming up that I'm really interested in, I will make sure that I watch his video on it, because he does have really interesting takes. Whether or not you agree with every bit of it, but it always makes sense and stuff. I'm going to whack him in A. He's a little bit further down. No disrespect. I mean, he's in A. Okay, so then we got Patrick Gavier. You'll know his amazing thumbnails and amazing documentaries. This is another one that's going to get me hate comments, but it's just not really my cup of tea. He ain't going to go in D, don't worry. But I have to acknowledge that the videos that he makes are incredible and they're epic. But I kind of am more interested in like what's happening in MMA and like what's coming up and the drama or the politics or the fights and the matches and stuff, more than I am watching like documentaries about past stuff. And it's not my cup of tea. And also I don't want to sit down. I could do 10, 15 minutes maybe, but I can't sit down. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't remember how long they are, but I'm not sitting down for like an hour. If you like, and also the serious tone that he does it all isn't really to my taste. I prefer a bit of lightheartedness about it. But if you like that sort of thing, I think he's clearly probably the best at it. So good for him. And I wouldn't disrespect him with putting him low down. So we'll put him in B, but just for me personally, I would recommend him if you like that sort of thing. And then we got the Weasel. He was one of the ones I got into first, and so he's got a bit of a soft spot, like sort of nostalgic. And again with Che, I mean, Weasel and Che are probably, I would say, two of the best when it comes to breaking stuff down. The Weasel does love a nice long breakdown of stuff. In fairness, I don't find myself hunting the Weasel out to hear what his take is on whatever's happening at the moment. So he doesn't have that kind of draw, but if he's hitting the right topic, I'll always check his video out. We'll put him in A. Not near the top, but in A. And then we got the Schmo. Crazy when the Schmo came out, wasn't it? What is happening? Not hating it, just like, what the hell? But it works, it's cool, he's got his thing. I mean, look, when it first came out, it was crazy, and you're just watching these fighters deal with this persona. But obviously now, I think he's done quite a good job, because obviously this persona kind of gets a bit old, and then you're not tuning in to like see that. He has a good rapport with a lot of fighters, so you get that thing where you see another side of them, a little bit like with Nina Drama. I've got nothing against him. I think he's doing a good job, but again, it's not the sort of thing I watch. Again, it's a bit like Nina Drama. I'll just see clips of the best bits. And in that sense, I like it, but I'm not really clicking on any of his videos, these long form full videos. So I'll whack him and see. And then we might as well do Helen Yee while we're at it. Helen Yee is, obviously, she does all the same interviews as Schmo because she's with him. There's nothing wrong with her. She's fine. She does interviews. She has a little bit of fun with people, giving them chicken feet and that. I rarely watch one of her videos. So, you know, I'm going to have to whack her in D. There's not a lot I can do about it. Helen Yee is getting the D. Oh, and then a new one, Flying Squirrel. If you haven't seen him, go and check him out. It's kind of a similar thing to your Lucas Tracy bedtime, MMA type vibe. They're good videos. They're entertaining. It's the same sort of thing that everyone's doing, but in his own way, in his own personality, which is all you can do. He throws in a bit of humour to it. It's just good stuff. If you like that type of thing, definitely check him out. And for a channel of his size, I think he's doing a brilliant job. We'll whack him in A. And then we'll do Lionel Rivera. This is going to be another one like Patrick Gavier. They're very good videos. It's just not my cup of tea. It's not the sort of thing I want to sit down and watch on YouTube. I won't go over that all over again. So we'll just put him next to Patrick in B. Oh, and actually, we've finished the triple off while we're doing those documentary ones. And there's a really good channel called Leo Cooper. If you're new to watching MMA, it's a brilliant channel because it's very... He breaks stuff down and introduces you to like the law and stuff. He started doing breakdowns of events. But again, it's not like it's... they're really well put together. It's kind of serious tone. If you like that sort of thing, Patrick Gavier, Lionel Rivera and Leo Cooper. I'll put Leo right next to Lionel in B. But Leo Cooper also does another thing where he does a podcast, the MMA Creator podcast with a kiddie called Will, who's Casual's Corner on Instagram. It's quite a big channel. They just catch up with each other and they talk about MMA. It's really small. I'm sure it will blow up at some point. They're being really consistent with it. You should definitely check that out. And I'll whack that next to him in B. And then you got Left Lane MMA, another one of these channels, a bit like Lucas Tracy, Bedtime, Che, all that sort of thing. He can be a little bit overwhelming with the community posts if you subscribe to him, but the videos are good. He's smashing it. We'll whack him near the top of B. Then you got Jack Slack, an old school one. Everyone says they love Jack Slack. But when you look at the views that his videos gets, I think he's one of those channels where you like to think that you like him, but they don't actually tune into his videos very much for how big he is and how long he's been going. But his videos are great. If you're in the mood for that sort of thing, he is just very natural, very himself, and he's got really insightful breakdowns of events and techniques and stuff like that. It is really enjoyable to listen to him when you're in that sort of mood. So if you don't know him, you definitely should watch that. We'll whack him in B. Oh, and then another little channel, Full Guard Frenzy. This is a very new channel. In this space, he's really unique. The way that you describe him, he's like the Matt Pack film theory of MMA. Broadly appealing, so I could see him flying up in subscribers. So he's doing really good. We'll whack him in B. And then Hoppero, if that's how you say it. He came out, I remember when he was brand new, and he would just do a video a day and just absolutely blew up. It's crazy. I work and I can't do a video a day. It's really frustrating to see these people just start and absolutely blow past me. But you just can't knock what he's doing. Like, he's just like, and also, I don't watch his videos very often, I've got to be honest, but I watched a few of them in the beginning because I was intrigued, and he's doing a good job. And I've watched a few recently just because I subscribed, even though I don't really watch them. But then, like, I've watched a few, and you can really see that he's evolved. He's got like more comfortable. He's got better visuals and stuff. It's nice to see the evolution. So I'll whack him right near the top of C. And then we got James Lynch, who's one of the old school ones. He's old school in the sense that he's been around for a while, but he's also old school in the, like, sort of his approach. He's like your classic MMA journalist type thing. I don't watch any of his videos other than the... I've watched a couple, actually. That's a lie. Sometimes he interviews MMA creators. I've seen a couple of them. But I don't watch the breakdowns, and I don't watch like any of his takes about the goings-on of MMA or anything. But he's the guy that does the MMA Pros pick. And I guarantee you will have watched them if you don't know who he is. But they're brilliant. I think I watch every creator's picks, so I had to include him. He's for those videos alone, it's brilliant. Like I say, I don't really watch all the other stuff, so I'll put him in D, but near the top of D. And then there's musical MMA. This is a tough one because I've only fairly recently discovered him and I haven't really had a chance to watch many videos. I've watched a couple of videos, but what I have watched, like kind of short, funny songs and stuff, has been really brilliant and really refreshing. It's like good to see someone just try and do something like original in the space. So yeah, like I can't put him near the top because I haven't seen loads, but what I've seen I like, so I'll whack him in C. And then we got Luke Thomas. Now, I'm not like, I know there's Morning Combat, which is like him and someone else, I think. He's not really like, I'm not into that type of like the MMA space. You know, yeah. Oh fuck, I didn't put Ariel Helwani in him. Do you know what? I'll quickly do Ariel Helwani, whack him in D, because he's just so fucking wormy, isn't he? Like the problem is, you watch the MMA gurus and stuff, videos and all this sort of stuff, and you hear all the crap. I've made a couple of videos about him myself, fair ones, not just slagging him off, but looking into it and all that. The problem is when in your head, when you've heard what he does about trying to get fighters to talk about money, trying to cause trouble with Dana, and the fact that he's butthurt about Dana and the UFC, when you kind of like learn that, you just can't watch anything he does because everything, he's just relentlessly being like what people describe him as like. And I try to give him a chance. So yeah, he's in D. And then Luke Thomas, kind of similar professional, proper journalist type thing. But I've tried to watch Luke Thomas 2 or 3 times, and maybe it's just really, really bad timing or something like that. But every time I've tried to watch him, I haven't got past the first couple of minutes because he's just so condescending and just like righteous and smug. I don't know if I've just caught bad videos and he's actually well alright, but I don't think I'm ever going to find out because it was just insufferable. So yes, he's going in D, but he's going right at the bottom of D. I'm sorry if I've got it wrong. Let me know in the comments if I've got it wrong. I think I might have it right. Then we got MMA Joey. He's another one of these guys, same sort of thing, covering events. He's kind of like mma-guru light. That's not a dig about their weight or his weight. You know what I mean, right? But, you know, he's smashing it. He's working hard. He's doing his thing. I do watch, every now and again, I watch one of his videos. But I've got to respect the fact he's doing his thing. He's smashing it. So good for him, and I'll whack him in B. And then we do pound for pound. Henry Cejudo and Kamaru Usman. I don't watch loads of them, but I do watch them, and I do enjoy it. But you got to give it to them. They're doing their thing. We whack it in B. And then Glass Cannon. He's got about 10,000 subscribers. He's doing well. He's had a weird journey because I watched one of his videos a while ago, and then I saw I don't know if he has had trouble with copyright or something, but then all of a sudden he deleted all his videos and then he's put some back on. And then so the consistency, I think, is his drawback. But he's got a good personality, good voice. He's kind of funny. He seems to have like, I can't really remember about the takes. I think he more does like pieces on people sort of thing. But what I've seen I like. It's a shame that he doesn't do more of it. So because he just doesn't do much, I'll whack him in C. But like what I've seen I like. And then we got Dan Hardy. Now when I'm talking about Dan Hardy, I'm talking about those War Room breakdowns. And they are fantastic. I absolutely love those. I don't know if he does much other stuff. I think that's all he does, and he doesn't upload very often, but I'm going to have to put him in A because when he does one of those, I fucking love it. And then I'll move on to GK, who's I think he's just started being consistent again. I think he was not consistent for a while. He has got a kind of different vibe to everyone else. He's kind of like chilled out. And he kind of like does these kind of breakdowns, almost like a kind of a cross between someone like Lucas Tracy, but then crossed with someone like Mix Molly Whoppery, something like that, you know, in the sense that he covers those sort of things. I like him. I like him. I'll whack him in C. And then we do MMA on Point, which is, I must say, I think MMA on Point is the biggest channel that's not like a fighter or famous person or something. So you got to give credit to them. And like they've been so consistent and smashed it so long. Now, to be completely honest, all of their kind of lists and stuff like that, I don't watch any of that stuff, but they have started doing a thing where they do a kind of podcast where they all sit around and having a chat, and I quite like that, so I'll whack them in C. We ain't got loads left. And then we do TJ Loves Fights. I don't know if you've seen him. He does a bit of boxing and a bit of MMA. Really well put together, really slick. He's doing a great job, like good video, like, you know, good topics and stuff. He did kind of blow up, and then his progression is sort of like mellowed out. He does everything really, really well, but it just doesn't really get me coming back. We'll whack him in C. Oh, and then I just want to do Submission Radio. It seems to get really good insights and ask really good questions. So of that type of thing, one of the better ones. We'll whack him in C. And then S tier. So who do you think S tier is? Let's have a look at it. Who's missing? Let me put it this way. I'm not Ian Gary and I'm not Sean O'Malley. So I might not be the biggest channel, but I can't put another person's channel in S tier when I myself am a content creator in the MMA space. I'm definitely not the biggest channel. I think I might be the smallest channel here. And I'm still working things out and playing with things and tweaking the fucking formula and all that. But you watch, we'll get there. But for now, egotistically and delusionally, I'll whack myself in S tier. So there you go. If you like this video, give us a sub, check out this playlist of recent bangers. I'll see you next time.